Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well today. Today on the pressSIGN Q&A, I'm going to be talking about just about general CMYK measurements within pressSIGN in the summary screen, just giving you some tips and advice so that you understand what the numbers are that you're seeing and the graphics. So that'll help you hopefully with controlling your press. So let's get straight into it. My name is Phil Binks from Bodoni, North America. Here we go. So the first thing we'll do is dive straight into a preview of the latest pressSIGN interface window so that I can show you some of the measurement features in the summary window. If you want to make any comments, please do. If you need to ask any questions, I will answer any comments that come up on the stream. And if you're watching this after the show has finished, not live, still feel free to make comments. I still get notified of those comments or questions and I can come back and answer those. So let's go straight into it. Here we have pressSIGN's interface window. We're on the summary screen area here at the top left as you look at that right now. And in this summary screen window, we've got a single measurement that's been made of this colour bar. So as I roll over that, you can see the cursor and the colours update in the top left hand corner, which we call, it's this corner up here. Give me a second. It's this corner up here that we call the colour inspector window. So this gives us lots of information regarding the colours that we're measuring or we're rolling over in the interface. So that will always update whatever colour you roll over in the interface, whether it's in the summary window or the colour bar or the single patches window. This is a dynamic section of the software and very powerful, and there's a lot of information in there, such as the target colour, lab value, the printed colours, the estimated best colour, and the delta H, delta E, and whatever else is relevant within that area based upon the target standard. So if you've watched any of the other videos, hopefully you will understand this little part of the interface already. Okay, so let's go straight back. What I want to concentrate on today is a couple of things. I'll talk maybe a little bit about the curves area that we have here. But I'm going to really concentrate more in the bottom area just to give you some clues as to what it's actually showing you. So remember that we've actually measured the colour bar that we see here to achieve this single result. That colour bar contains solid colours. So it's got a solid cyan, it's got a solid magenta, it's got a solid yellow and a solid black. And then there's tint values on those as well amongst the colour bar too, which allows us to then create the curves that you see in the curves dialog or the graphic window here for the curves. Diving straight down into the bottom area of the screen, but this is the area I really want to concentrate on today for you. So let me just zoom into there for you. So let's have a look at the cyan and magenta. So they're placed quite nicely on the screen for us at the moment. In the window, we've got obviously the name of the colour. We've got a number, and in this case, this is red. Now, any red number within pressSIGN means that it's outside the tolerance that is defined by the target standard. So I see here that I've got a delta E of 4.59 and it's red. So that leads me to think that within the target standard, the failure level is somewhere just above or sorry, just below 4.59 delta E. So maybe it's a 4.5 delta E, because we can see that next to it we've got a delta E of 3.11 which passes. This is not in red figures, so that's something to have a look at. The 1.39 is the calculation of the density based upon the spectrophometric measurement that we've made. So we've measured this with the spectrophotometer, and that data has been converted internally to a density measurement. And this might explain why sometimes when you measure with one device versus another, or one software versus another, sometimes you get a little bit of a discrepancy between the two numbers, and it can be down to the formulation of how the density is calculated. There are unfortunately several ways to calculate density, so but the tried and tested ways are pretty close. And don't forget, of course, that no two measurements are the same anyway, so you're probably going to get a 0.1 or 2 or 3 difference between even the same device measuring the same patch. 1.39 then is the density calculation. The minus 24% in pressSIGN is an instruction to the printer, the print operator, to reduce the density by 24%. Now, whether that means 1 press on the ink key or 24 presses on the ink key depends on the press itself. So that kind of data is really something that you can only learn from experience, how much adjustment is required to then achieve the optimum. And this is what pressSIGN is telling you. It's telling you to get the optimum color match to a proper cyan, the cyan known LAB values. Then we are looking at a minus 24% reduction in density to achieve that. Over on the magenta, we're very, very close to as good as that ink and media will allow us to get. So pressSIGN is looking at the media colour and the ink colour on top of the media in order to give you the very best colour that it can. So from the combination of those two. So here it's looking and saying, well, really -3 is about all you'd need to do to get as good as you can get in terms of a match for that magenta on that substrate. Now remember, we can already see that our delta E is 3.11, and we're thinking that really that's probably as good as you're going to get. I mean, it will drop a little bit, but 3% off your delta E at best is still going to be in the 2s to high 2s, I would think. So that's something to look at later if you get concerned about wanting to tighten up that even more. Maybe it would require an ink change, or maybe you just need to realise that the substrate you're printing on is not as close to the target standard as is specified. So that's another thing to look at. You can always look at the paper value. The paper value is in the colour bar above somewhere. Okay, it's just out of shot at the moment. Next we have the density measurement here is repeated here, so it's 1.39. If we had multiple readings, then what pressSIGN does is it gives you the best delta E. So pressSIGN here is calculating that the best delta E would be 0.95. With a density of 0.87. So pressSIGN is essentially trying to take you down somewhere near to that density of 0.87 in this job, which will then give us the best colour match for cyan. It actually says here the range of densities that are in target. So 0.87, that's relatively rare. We've only got one measurement anyway in this job. Actually it says the target is 1.06 with a calculation of status T within the software and the spectrophotometer. So we can go into that another time, but that's essentially another formulation method. Below that we have a graphic which shows the printed colour, and it's divided. Hopefully you can see the dividing line going diagonally there. And the lower quadrant, lower half, is the target area, and we can see the target looks a little lighter than the printed, hence the reason that we might imagine that pressSIGN is suggesting we reduce the density to bring it closer to this target cyan colour. Similarly, on the magenta side, we've got the printed and the target, and we have a very small lab view showing where the dot is, the measurement point, compared to where it should be, which is right in the middle of that crosshair. Really, our measurement point is there in this is an A line, the B line. It would be perfect if we were just here. So we're a little bit off of the colour. And the L value, this dot here, represents the darkness of the measured colour. This dot can only travel up or down, so we've got an arrow pointing upwards for L, the lightness value, and our target line is here, so it's shown the target line, and the 52 represents the L value of the target that we're aiming for. So in this case, on the cyan, we've got an L value of 58, and we're below that as well, and again obviously we can see that the colour is dark. So that gives you a very brief idea of why pressSIGN is giving you adjustment information relating to those elements of the print. If we just slide over to the other side a little, just have a quick peek first, we can see the same kind of thing for the yellow, and all of the values there. 91 is the L value for yellow, obviously it's a much lighter colour, and 20 is the L value target for black, and we're even below that, believe it or not. So pressSIGN is actually suggesting that you take some of the black ink away because we're actually too dark based upon the standard. And as I mentioned before, here is your paper patch. If we were looking at the colour inspector in the window, we'd see the colour for the paper as well. Okay. So as I roll over the paper patch once more, we can see in the top zone of the interface that we've got actually really quite a close paper colour. It's actually not specified in this target standard to score the paper colour. If you have any questions or anything that you need to know about pressSIGN, please let me know. I'm very happy to help you and answer any questions and supply pressSIGN to you if you're looking to control your press to the very best ability in the future. If you like this, please subscribe and hit the like button and the notification so you know when I'm next doing another live. It's likely to be in about 4 weeks' time. And that's really it. So thanks for watching, and take care now.